The sun is now out in full force as we exit Bear Scott Stadium, and it is a day of a lot of people being here, and I think the basketball guy left, the walker's still here, and the boy and his dog left, and the golfer is back. So nice day here at Scott Stadium. Doesn't feel as cold as it was earlier. All right, top 4 teams in each conference now that we are at about the 3/4 mark in the season. Now, in the past we could do the exact it was split up into quarters. Now that we've got 17 games, it skews it, but every team, well, except for tonight's game, every team has played at least 12 games. Some teams have played 13 out of the 17, so we'll go ahead and do the rankings, and I'm going to do top 4 because I think 4 is a good number to do. Everything after that everything after the top 4 to me are kind of pretenders, but I'll get into it. So starting the AFC, the American Football Conference, number 1, I'm going to go with Kansas City, despite their tough loss yesterday on the road. Still think they're the number 1 team. 2, I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I would not have had them that high this time even a week ago, but Cincinnati is number 2, and then number 3 is the currently ranked number 1 team, number 1 seed, and that's Buffalo. The reason I've got Buffalo 3 instead of 1 or 2 is because you put them up against Kansas City or Cincinnati in the playoffs, I'm taking either Kansas City or Cincinnati, even in Buffalo. That's right, so go ahead. I know it's kind of, I'd say I'm disrespecting them, but I've got Buffalo number 3. Number 4, I'm going to go with Baltimore. I think they're kind of being overlooked. And it looks like the injury to Jackson is not as bad as they thought, fortunately for them. I'm not a believer in Miami. That's why they're not number 4. I am not on the Dolphin bandwagon there. Not a good game yesterday, but overall I think Baltimore, just on sheer playoff experience, coaching, got to put them in there in the top 4. All right, so in the National Football Conference, number 1, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. Number 2, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think after that, there's a significant drop-off. So in the AFC, at least the first 3 teams are pretty tight. In the NFC, it's a 2-horse race. I see it as a 2-horse race. And Dallas is 1. I think that Prescott and even McCartney, they've got that playoff. They've been in more playoff games. Some of their other players have too. The Eagles recently have not. They were just in that 1 last year, but that was a big thing for them to be in that wild card game. So number 3, NFC, again, a big drop off. We're gonna go with Minnesota, but they are destined to not do much in the playoffs, maybe win a game. And then 4, probably, 4 was San Francisco, but San Francisco now could end up losing the division to Seattle after losing Garoppolo for the season. Now, if Brock Purdy had been a quarterback that was in there for if this was like his second year in the system, I would say maybe he could. And they said he looked good. I could say, well, maybe he could even lead them to a playoff win with that defense. But Mr. Irrelevant is not going to of 2022. It's not going to be enough. So they'll probably get into the playoffs either as the division winner or the wild card. But I don't see much after that. So, Seattle. I think there's a couple of teams in that wild card weekend in the NFC that'll look pretty good. One of them would be Minnesota, and then the other one would probably be like Seattle, and then those are teams that would move on and get beaten. So, is it going to be Dallas, Philly in the NFC Championship? It's hard to tell. It just depends on how things seed out. So, Tampa Bay is going to end up getting beat by Dallas. I mean, we're assuming Tampa Bay wins the South. They got to win tonight. They don't have to win tonight, but they really should at home get that. They need to get that win at home. It's kind of a push, really, the division game, but they would end up playing at home against Dallas and losing, and then the Vikings would end up playing the number 5 seed, which at this point, it's the Giant. Not the number 5, the number 6 seed, which would at this point, if the season ended, it would be the Giants. So either like Giants or Seattle. I mean, possibly even Commanders, but it just depends. And Minnesota would be kind of in a dogfight, depending on who it is. And then that's the thing. And the NFC West is just hard to say. It seems like San Francisco would hold on and win that division, and they maybe play like Seattle, but hard to say. So a lot of pretenders in the NFC. It's not as strong as the AFC. So I think you'd have to. Okay, so that's the thing. If Dallas is the only road team to win on Wild Card Weekend, then they would play Philadelphia in the divisional round, not the NFC Championship. So in order for us to have a Dallas-Philadelphia NFC Championship game, we would need one of the other road teams to win that weekend, because they'd be a lower seed, be it the Giants or the Seahawks. So one of those teams would have to win. Okay, whichever 6 or 7, whichever the 6 or 7 seeds are, would have to upset, say, San Francisco theoretically, or they would have to upset the Vikings. So that could happen. That could very well happen, and that's how you would end up getting it set up for Dallas and Philadelphia to be in opposite divisional round games, and then if they win their games, they would play in Philadelphia for the NFC Championship for the first time since 1981. January of '81. We were just talking about that today in the room with Eagles 52 and with JG. Yeah, JG and Eagles 52. That was the second. No, that was the first game that Danny White and his Cowboys lost 3 NFC Championships games in a row. That's right. Eagles, Redskins, and then 49ers. No, Eagles, 49ers, then Redskins. So, all right. That's what I got. Top 4, again, let's review. AFC, top 4. As of right now, at roughly the quarter point, Kansas City 1. Cincinnati 2, Buffalo 3, Baltimore 4. NFC, Cowboys 1, Eagles 2, Vikings 3, and what did I say? I forgot what I said. I don't think I even got to 4. I'll just say San Francisco. I don't know. I don't think I said 4. I'll say Seattle 4. I'll say Seattle 4. All right, we'll go with that. Pete Carroll and Geno. All right, so see how that plays out. A lot of things could change. Monday night game tonight, and all right. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.